Roll Tide, everyone. It's the Tuesday after a loss. You know some fireworks are about to be shot up in the sky on this show tonight because this is the Bama Standard. We don't hold anything back. But before we do all that, do some things for us. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, get in the comment section, live chat, and just talk it up. If you're watching the replay, get in the comment section down below. Enter in your thoughts, your feelings, and all that great stuff. We love to hear from you. I'm your host, Justin Riley, accompanied by the 1999 All-SEC linebacker, Marvin Constant.
Yo, roll tide.
Then we got the king of the strip, my man who is never short of words. He's a double agent, and he's a very happy man from this past weekend. Daniel Pettey.
What is up, guys? Well, I ain't that happy. It started off bad, man. Bama put some a bad flavor in that mouth, and hell, so did USF. My triple agent started off 0 for 2. We're gonna talk about it.
We are going to talk about it.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma. I said this, man. Nobody's really saying this out loud since I've been watching Alabama. Every team has kryptonite. Georgia can't beat Bama. Certain teams. Bama's kryptonite may be damn Oklahoma.
No, it's not.
All right, and beat them. I hadn't seen it beat them.
It's not.
We're getting to it. We're getting to it.
We're 0 in the last.
We
5.
beat them 40 to something or whatever a few years ago, whatever playoff game that was. Or
Yeah.
Orange Bowl, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But hey, I got to acknowledge something. This man right here is an Alabama legend. He's a national champion. He is responsible for one of the greatest plays in Alabama history, but also, too, this man fought through some serious traffic in Dallas to get here on time. I'm going to say it on air. I promised him off screen. We're going to give him a raise.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, George Teague.
Insert cha-ching right here and make a y'all clip this part right here so I can replay it, retweet it, post it on Instagram, all that stuff. I'm getting paid, baby. Oh, hell, on the Bama Standard. Whatever you need me to say, dog. Let's do
it. We're going to restructure your NIL contract, and hopefully the zeros that you are commanding will fit on the page.
Yeah, all zeros. Start with 0, end with 0. That's what happens.
Your NIL, no income looming. Nothing's coming.
I feel like that was choreographed right there.
Negative. I'm fast on my feet, baby.
I know Mo. You used to be fast. I don't know about no more.
Hey, listen. See, you didn't start talking about my knees already. See. You talk about me coming in hot, but you started. See. What I said was nobody was on here but us. So nobody said, nobody heard it, but you making it.
I know how y'all repost everything, though. Y'all got all the outtakes and all that kind of stuff. And you got the back room, you know what I'm saying?
Not me.
I'm going to get my shot in for the show over with.
That's going to happen. Yeah. And hey, we got a Sooner fan who's already in the live chats, ready to hear what we got to say about the game this past weekend. This segment brought to you by Touch of Gray. Anyway.
I'm trying to figure out, does Pettey have on a snakeskin polo? What the hell is that?
It's not snakeskin. It's I don't know. It's Travis Matthew. It's some kind of design.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get shirts for the show. Pettey needs a better wardrobe. Clearly it's always something questionable.
Marvin, I'm sorry. You have bought all the shirts at Baby Gap, and I have to go elsewhere to shop.
Thank you. This shirt got a zipper on the back.
George, I'm gonna need you to eat your Fibercon gummies and drink your Metamucil after we're done.
Well, I ain't have nothing to eat. I got here to try to be a good guest, man. I ain't have time to stop getting no food, nothing to drink.
Nothing.
I came straight from work, so I can be part of the Bama Standard. And then,
thank you. Well, hey, listen.
We're gonna Venmo you that raise, and after this, you can afford to go to Five Guys. that lets you know, folks, that this is a serious pay raise. Going to Five Guys.
You know how it is. All right, man. What are we talking about over here?
But listen, we're going to start things out. We can't end this whole madness until these guys on this panel talked about it. I did a post-game show. You already heard what I got to say, but you really came here to hear what Marvin Constant, George Teague, and Daniel Pettey have to say. Fellas, I don't even know where to begin. All I know is that it was homecoming, and Oklahoma made us feel like visitors in our own stadium. How do you let company come in and evict you from your house? Marvin, talk to us. Then we'll go to George and over to Pettey.
Well, here's where I am at the moment. That was what, game 10, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Fellas, I'm on here with three gentlemen, so I know you all are going to understand this, and my men in the chat, you're going to understand this. If you've dated a woman who likes to argue and cause a scene everywhere she damn goes, why are you surprised when it happens again at dinner or at the family gathering? Because it's the norm. With this team, them not being able to stop the run is the damn norm. I said it last week. I said it the week before. If we cannot stop the run and if we cannot run the ball, we're in trouble. I'll give the team credit for one thing. Defense showed up. They took a step, gave up 212 yards of total offense. Again, what do I always say? Championship teams make steps in the right direction. They improve week over week and they get better. Our offense, on the other hand, the other half of the equation, we cannot run the ball to save our life. And I'm glad George is on here because I've been saying it and I've been saying it. George, tell me your thoughts on this. When you're playing a team like Alabama that I know I can stop the run with the light box and I can keep my safeties over the top, now my corners can squat on whatever and gamble because they know they got safety damn help. Do you understand how many pick sixes, i.e. what just happened Saturday, will continue to happen in situations like this? Because again, if corners can squat and sit on stuff because they know they got safety help over the top, I'm gambling all damn day. Because again, anybody can stop the run against us with a light box because we're not commanding anybody to walk extra defenders in the box because our offensive line suck. We can't run the ball to save our damn life. The fundamentals of football, the first thing you learn in Pee-wee football at that little age was how to run the damn ball and block. That is the number one fundamental that you learn. You learn how to run the ball and block before you know how to pass the damn ball. But clearly, this team has forgot everything that they've learned. And with that, it's not going to end well for them. And I've been saying it time and time again. I said it 2 weeks ago. I said when we get to the Oklahomas and the Auburns who can run the ball, who can give us enough defensively to stop Ty, it's going to be some long days. I thought we would beat Oklahoma. I knew it would be a close game. But again, not having the ability to run the ball and not having the ability to stop the run is going to be pivotal in how this team proceeds. Again, we fixed one of the issues. The question is, will we continue to improve upon that as we go into these next two games?
I think that, and to add into that, I guess, is I think that when we're talking about the offensive side, the running game, I think it's not only just the players. I feel like, and we talked about this on Teague's Take last week, predictability, angles that we don't have, just the scheme that we're actually doing as well. And I kind of look at it from a defensive side of the ball, and somewhere I'm thinking of like how Marvin would play. If you know where they're going to run the ball, and you can beat a lineman to a spot or something, and then you got an advantage. And I think people or teams that may not be as good as us have an advantage just because of tendencies. That's the only word I know how to use it. So I think we're not very elaborate with that. We do a lot of shifting and we do all the stuff, but I think there's some telltales in there where the lineback lines up, where the tight end is. So they're getting jumps on keys, and it does make it hard for that.
Well, George, I want you to add this to it. It doesn't help that we're predictable and they're getting jumps when we have linemen that can't block to save their damn life. I'm sorry. Why is 75 still playing? Clearly, he needs more time on task on the practice field before you put him in game situations.
Well, word on the street is he might be in there full time this week, though, right? Or no?
Well, that's what's amazing. We took out arguably one of our highest graded offensive linemen in a right guard, Jaden Roberts, and we put Formby in his spot, who's been one of the I guess, most recognized liabilities of that offensive line. No matter what position you put him in, he has caused absolute chaos, and those beside him have had to try to overcome his mistakes, and by doing so, they are having issues trying to block the guys they are accountable for.
Well, and let me throw this out there because I want y'all to keep going at it, Marvin and George. I've yet to see a Bama back that can pick up a blocker. And in this day and age, you've got, and in the shotgun, when you're not running heavy or two tight end sets very often, you got to have a running back that can pick up. And we don't have one. Jam's taking a step back. He was okay at it. I think Hill's the best runner, but he can't do it. I mean, they've apparently written off Richard Young because he couldn't do it. Like it's a huge liability. And I think that was a big problem Saturday night. Ty is getting no protection from backs or anywhere. You can't trust any side of it. And look, you can't put it all, like he missed some throws that he didn't need to miss. But I think a lot of it, I mean, how much of it is a liability with these running backs that can't block?
No, I think it's a liability in running backs that aren't even patient enough to wait for all of it to develop as well. And sometimes when you think it ain't there, it is. They aren't that fast. They're not Jahmyr Gibbs where they can just bounce it outside and go beat somebody to the edge. We don't have those guys right now. They're going to have to be patient and kind of stay in there and do this. And I'm seeing your little Sooners guy in here, whatnot. And I do want to say we're better than Oklahoma. Should have won this doggone game. We had opportunities and things of that nature, right? But you did, you lose a turnover bottle. There's so much into it. We can focus on running backs, linemen, and all this kind of stuff as we should. But to your point, if you don't, you can talk about pass block. Man, I'm just more worried about why. Dude, I don't know what our average per yards per carry is, but it's not big enough. We don't have enough explosive plays in the run game, man. I ain't even confident that, we can get a yard when we're sitting down there trying to figure out how to, get a short.
George, you know what the problem is? We don't have a running back who can catch the ball out of the backfield. Right. We don't have running backs that can block. When you don't have a running back that can catch the ball out the backfield, that takes away the wheel route. That takes away a lot of other things that defenses have to account for, and that could potentially be big plays later in the game. But again, when you don't have a back who can catch the ball out the backfield, it's pointless to slip them up the backside on their wheel route that teams do. Like, you'll see Detroit often do with Jahmyr Gibbs, again, when you have those type of backs. But when you look at the offense as a whole, the woes, I'm going to blame everybody from the coach down. I'm going to call it the play calling. I'm going to call the offensive line coach for the blocking, the way the adjustments, the starting lineup. Ty Simpson holding on to the ball too damn long for one. Get rid of the damn ball. Like, what the hell? I mean, do you just want them to get their damn stats up against you? Get rid of the damn ball. But again, I understand why he feels like he has to make a play because we can't run the ball. Right. So somehow, some way, you got to advance the ball. So I get it. But he has to realize he can't do too much, because when you start doing too much, you get i.e. pick six, i.e. give the opponent the ball 4 times inside the 45-yard line. That's what doing too much equals. So you got to stop. Just get rid of the ball. Let your defense do their job. Who gives a shit if it's a 9-6 game? Let the game play out the way it plays out. Stop trying to do too much.
You think Ty got too confident, though? You start talking about Heisman and winning. Now I
don't think he looks at that, honestly.
8 in a row.
No, I will say he's definitely too confident, because you look at some of the throws that he makes. You have to be very damn confident to throw the ball into some of those damn windows, because the quarterback who lacks confidence, he's going to take the check down. He's not going to make some of those throws. But again, when you're trying to make a play because you can't run the ball, you're going to make some of those throws, and they're going to be costly. That's what happens. Again, because Ty knows if we don't pass the ball, we ain't going no damn well, because we damn still ain't going running the ball.
Okay. I do see that. I just wanted to bring up the question. I'm not saying that it actually feels that way. I just know that apparently there was some conversation about what the confidence is, overconfident, meaning, you're going into this and you're not really taking Oklahoma as serious as you need to. And having the issues that we have, not being able to run the ball, and then a quarterback maybe just saying, man, I got to go win this, and maybe taking some unnecessary chances or looks.
Right, and nobody's knocking Ty. Ty is one of the best quarterbacks in the country, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I know he feels like I have to do something to get this team into
pressing.
the end zone, because we're not going to get that running the damn ball. And we've all seen it from the Peyton Mannings, from the Tom Brady's, the Drew Breeses. When they're in those type of situations, they're going to force certain throws because they got to make a play. And we all know there's times when those plays are not going to go the way you thought they were going to go, and they're going to result in turnovers. But that's also what makes them great, because the majority of the time those plays do work. But you have to be able to live with when it doesn't work. And that's what happened this past weekend. The plays didn't work because their corners were sitting on every damn thing. When I tell you they was squatting, baby, they was ready.
Well, and you guys know when a quarterback loses faith in his pass blocking in any form, he's going to start watching the rush, and then you start losing confidence, and you're watching the rush. You're not going to be as accurate.
Seeing ghosts too. I mean,
well, you got to think about it. You're trying to look for the rush, that guy coming off that edge, while at the same time you're going through your progressions from 1 to 2, potentially to 3, never probably going to make it to 4, depending on how many people you got in that route. But all the time where you're looking for this guy coming off the edge with the hopes that the strip sack is not coming from the backside, it's a lot to process in a short period of time. And when you don't have backs who can block for you, and you're having to keep tight ends in to potentially chip on guys because your offensive line isn't getting it done, there's less guys you have in the route, which means the defense is sitting back with their safeties playing deep, which means now, again, we can sit on everything. We have more people in coverage than you have in a route. It's not going to work.
I want to bring up a lot of things, and this has been going on all season without question, but it's been overshadowed because Alabama has continued to win. We got backs who cannot see the holes, or they won't get skinny, or they don't trust the running lanes that are there. George, you're absolutely right. I saw all 22. The lanes are there. You got backs who can't pass block. You got tight ends who can do well in the passing game. When it comes to blocking for the run, they can't do anything at all. We are past 10 games, and we still don't know what our offensive line is supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. It's an absolute cluster, and I got to sit here and say I don't have faith in our offensive coordinator. With all this disarray going on the entire season and absolutely nothing getting fixed, nothing getting better, you got to look his way. How in the world do you still allow this to go on, especially at the point in the season where every game is critical and you're supposed to be elevating to get into a playoff? But what we see on the field is an absolute bowl of monkey piss. That's all. That's all it is.
Well, I'm not gonna blame the offensive coordinator because we don't understand what constraints and parameters he's having to work within. That's important. We don't know that, and a lot of times you may have head coaches that may tie a coordinator's hands to a certain extent.
That's true, but don't y'all remember what this Washington offense looked like when they were there together? The running game in particular. Okay, yeah, they got to the natty or whatever. Yeah. But do you not remember when we analyzed and looked at what that offensive run game looked like and what kind of lineman he actually had?
And didn't that offensive line win the award for the best offensive line in the country?
Yeah, they won the Joe Moore Award.
Who was the offensive line coach at the time?
Scott.
Right. So, and who's the offensive line coach now?
Right. Coach Kaplovic.
Coaching matters, okay? George, tell me if I'm wrong. A lot of teams hire these coaches because they're great recruiters, and that's all they care about. We'll get the bodies in, we'll halfway coach them up, and we'll pray for a damn miracle come game day. That's what it seems like most are doing. Yeah. They're not actually taking the time to coach these kids up.
Oh, hit on him. Yeah, man.
They're placing more value on the guy who can get them in the door, not the guy who develops them and prepares them.
Well, you have to be in development. You should always have that mindset in college anyway, because you're trying to get these guys to the pros.
Right, George. But let me ask you this, though, George. What do you always hear from a coach when he's going out to get a new guy or hires a new guy? They'll say, what? He's a great recruiter. He's familiar with this area. He's worked this area. He knows these coaches. He has relationships. You'll hear everything about the relationships. The last thing you hear them say is, this man does a great job at teaching technique and the little things that are going to make these kids all pros.
Yes, and that is what it should be. That is what it should be about. When you're at this level, it's that's they don't talk about it enough, period, that you're recruiting guys getting transfers or whatever that you think are going to go to the NFL. And the more NFL guys you got on your team, the better you are, but you still need to develop them. You need to be able to teach them the schemes, the techniques, the right footwork, all the things necessary, because just when you're thinking about the line, typically, except us, right, the guys that are really diving into it, they don't know if the guy's taking the wrong steps or the wrong angle or something, but you can see it when you're actually watching the film, and you can go, hey, man, that exit angle was bad. You're never going to get to the linebacker that way or however. So those are things that are taught and worked on every single day in practice, just how to combo up to, from a lineman to a linebacker. And we're not getting there at all.
You know what, though? But hold on. Now that we have you on, I want to bring up a point. You and Antonio Langham are great friends. Langham is one of my dudes, man. Listen. And just to bring home my point earlier about cornerback sitting, what happened in the national championship game, and what did Langham tell you before he did it?
You talking about the Florida game when he was squatting?
I mean, the Florida game, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, he's squatting over there.
What did he tell you right before he did it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get this. I'm about to go get this, man.
When you can count on your safety behind you, bro, I'm telling you. And you all's defense could stop the damn run without loading the box. So the 92 defense is the perfect example of what just happened Saturday.
Hey, don't give him that much credit now. They ain't that damn good now. Hold on a second.
I'm saying the way you all approach games and the fact that you could take away the run and you were able to, not have to play with a heavy box the majority of the time because your 7 up front could just stop the damn run.
This is true. That's a very good point. It's bad if you can't. You have to be able to create that. And I know fans in general want you to throw the ball around, score a lot of points and all this kind of stuff. But it's too difficult when you can't run the ball at all because you become predictable. There's only so many routes that you can run anyway. And like you're saying, if he's got to get rid of the ball or you can confuse him somehow or take away whatever their favorite route is, check it down. You hit something over the center, something out there in the flat, and then you start stripping the ball. You start hitting on your guys. It gets too hard. If you're playing cover 2, as you're saying, keeping safeties high, things of that nature for you to try to run the ball, and it makes it too hard on your quarterback.
And if you don't think that Auburn's going to come with that same game plan, with the exception that Auburn likes to slant their defensive linemen, which is going to be even more problematic for an offensive line that struggles with passing off blockers and getting up to the second level.
Well, I don't even want to talk about Auburn because they can jinx you at any point in time.
Yeah, actually. Before I hear from Pettey, George, I want to ask you this, and Marvin, feel free to chime in. Some people are making the comment that, well, DeBoer doesn't have his players in offensively to be able to do what they want to do. Am I right in assuming that you scheme to fit the players, not try to force the players to fit your scheme?
Well, I did. I just came back in as a high school football coach, and I know what I had, and they ain't my guys, but I got to find a way how to make the guys that I have work, and not just do it because I think this scheme is that. You start to – that's why they got guys on – it's called roster management. You know who's on your roster. You know what you're supposed to do. You play to their strengths until you get the guys that you – want, and if you want to evolve and change, whatever that means, I don't know which way he's going to go with the running game. If he's going to stay SEC looking like, or if he's going to go to smaller, thinner kind of lineman and do something. I don't know. But you better, you said it nicely, man. Play with the guys that you got on there, and you figure it out, man. I'm relaying it to how I'm coaching high school football, right?
Yeah,
and I know that what my quarterback is. Is it the ideal quarterback that I would just go have if I had mine? Maybe not, but I know what his strengths are and how to play to him, and he ended up being our best guy because you got to give him, the credit. Our running backs were different, So anyway, to Justin's point, man, look at what you have. You got there last year. Maybe you had a quarterback or not the quarterback that you didn't want to have. Now you decided to go this, but you still got linemen, you still got linebackers, you still got all running backs. That maybe they fit with you. You got to figure out how to utilize them guys and make them productive in your system. So your running game can't be the way that it is with these guys. You got to find a fullback, a tight end, someone where we can create an extra gap running lane or someone to go up there and smash Marvin in the face one time, widen out that gap in between his two front teeth just a little bit more. See, I told you I was gonna get one in. You know what I'm saying? I told you I was gonna get one in.
Timed
Man,
it
spread that
perfectly.
thing out a little bit.
I mean, slow played it right into it.
Yeah, create that little hole, just widen it out just a little bit more, make them get braces. You know what I'm saying? We need to be able to go smash some people in the mouth like that, but we're not doing it. You keep trying to run this zone and this other little stuff, man. We ain't got that type of scheme, I guess, and guys to be able to do that without the back. So I don't know. He don't have much time to adapt. If you do sneak into the playoffs, I'm not a David Downer. We want to get into the playoffs and I want to do it, but it's going to be hard to win against these really, really good football teams if you can't run the doggone football. It's going to be too hard.
I'm calling BS. I'm so sick of this damn argument. When y'all go to restaurants and you go to dinner, when your food come out wrong, don't you blame the chef? Right?
Absolutely.
You blame the head damn chef from the top damn down. Now, if we gonna blame the top down, we're gonna start with Coach DeBoer, Kalen DeBoer. We ain't even gonna call him DeBoer no more because he done got his whole chain took. Don't wear that damn black hoodie no more. Leave that at home. Start wearing a pink one until you earn the right to wear the black one. Here's the thing: you go into the season with, depending upon where you look, number one or number two best talent roster in the country. It was depending upon where you look. It was Alabama and Ohio State. 1, 2, vice versa.
Right.
Don't damn matter. So there ain't no way you're gonna tell me you have one of the top rosters in the country on paper. The number of 4 and 5 stars you have at your disposal is ridiculous. And the fact that you don't know how to get the best out of them and put them in the right position to not only win games, but absolutely dominate them, is absolutely ridiculous. And you need to return some of that damn salary. Because here's the thing about it. When you understand your personnel, you understand who you're playing, you game plan. That means there's a plan, something you're trying to do. You're not just out there damn winging it, throwing shit at the damn refrigerator, hoping it sticks. That's what it seems like we're doing in most games.
It
we
is.
Get punched in the mouth. We don't have a response. And now we can't run the ball to save our damn life. So the moment we get behind, again, we already know everybody's sitting in the house at us because they know we can't run the ball. So, and we behind. So all we can do is pass the ball. When a team is in that type of situation, I'm pinning my ears back and I'm sitting in the house every damn play. You might get lucky and beat me every now and again, but you're going to have to beat me because I'm coming for your neck.
All right, Pettey, wrap this up before we move to the next section. So a lot of people in our fan base are placing blame on DeBoer and then placing blame on Ryan Grubb, placing blame on Ty Simpson. It goes on and on and on. What do you see is the central problem here? And is there any fixing at this point?
The central problem is we're in a new era of football and very few people really want to accept it.
Even in a new era of football.
Yeah, and Marvin, that new era means Saban ain't there. We're not 4 deep with 5 stars. There is talent issues, but y'all talked about there's development stuff. Yeah, we go recruit all these. We're talking about these running backs that can't block and have problems with patience. By the way, they're all blue chips. So we want to talk about development. There might want to look at that position.
So what you're saying is we need to start giving IQ tests before we sign these damn players.
Well, you need to give the doggone testers to whoever be giving these guys some of these stars sometime too. Make it that deep. The whole process is kind of flawed. I'm sitting here on the high school side, and I know how it works.
And then time out. LaToya Billingsley said it's not that we can't run the ball. We can't run the ball. Let's be very clear about that. Look at our yard per carry average. Look at our yards per game average. We can't run the damn ball. If running the ball successfully, you're averaging 4 or 5 yards a carry. I guarantee you we're not averaging that.
Well, to be done,
we're averaging 3.4.
No, and you got to have some 100-yard rushers, or
You do.
at least.
How many running backs have we had that have had 100-yard rush games this season?
Well, I don't even know that we've been having a whole lot of games with 100 yards total. Seems like.
Thank you. That's my whole point. We can't run the damn ball to save our life. And I promise you this: when you know a team can't run the ball, George, you know this. As a defense, if we know you can't run the ball, man, we finna.
I didn't tighten up my glove. I didn't tighten up my gloves.
What makes it more frustrating is, guys, we're not even running it to the strong side of the best side of our offensive line. Dewberry and Caden Proctor are two of our best run blockers on the team outside of Jaden Roberts, but we're not running the ball behind them. We're going to the liability side where we're getting met in the backfield.
We aren't smarting them, man. Come on, you know that's don't go with the obvious.
We make things way too hard.
Yes, I agree. That's offensive coordinators. They can't just stick to.
Well, and look, I'll be honest, and I think the Oklahoma defense was the best Bama had faced to this point, no doubt. But that defense had also gotten popped twice before, and there was a little bit of a blueprint from Heupel and Kiffin on how to move the offensive front to not, but you got to be able to run the ball. And there's no hint of a run game. And people talking about fixes. You're not fixing that in the 11th hour of the season.
No.
You got to work around it.
Right, Petty, but you're talking about Heupel and Kiffin. Yeah, they'll do sprint out to get the quarterback on the edge to
move the pocket.
Right, for passing, but that does nothing for your run game. We still can't run the ball.
No.
No, well, that's what I'm just saying. We're in the 11th hour. That's not getting fixed. You're not fixing it against Eastern Illinois this week because you can run all damn day against them. And I promise when you face Auburn, it's going to be different.
All right, so let's move on to our next topic. Rest of the season outlook, guys. There's 2 games. Of course, Eastern Illinois is just the prep game, and the Iron Bowl is what's going to decide everything. And
I know damn hell well they better win these last 2 because I took the over 9.5 season win total before the damn season. You better win these last 2 damn games, or I'm really gonna bring y'all ass in the mud, and I'm gonna talk about every damn deficiency if you go out here and stink it up these last 2 games.
That ain't gonna happen, man. They can bounce back. That ain't gonna happen, man. They're not gonna stink it up. I think, like you said, it's not gonna matter what we do here. You kind of put things together. We just lost
to Oklahoma at home on homecoming.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to say I'm not
as the ball 4 times inside the 45.
But look, okay, so I'm playing from my analyst side for real. Okay,
all right, set it straight.
We did not do the things that we need to do, but we're talking about how great the defense is and how well they played, and they did. We still missed some opportunities to set us up. How many interceptions did we drop? Right, that probably could have came and made the difference in that. Right,
they both come in pick sixes.
You didn't stop the run on a couple things, but there were some opportunities we had there. Special teams. How many times did they have short field to make it even more harder on us on defense? So you got to short those things.
Every phase of the game, you get better, and we're not doing it.
It is, but listen. So I'm going into the punt. He didn't even try to tackle the dude. He went at his legs or whatever, didn't wrap up or whatever, and then he runs off of 40. So, I'm not saying that's scheme. That's a player not doing what he needed to do. Maybe you put that on the head coach and the intensity of practice or whatever, but all I'm knowing is, man, I got a free shot on this guy, punt, and you just kind of, I don't know what that is. I don't know where that comes from. And then it creates a short field and you're back again. Yeah, you're at home. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be a little.
Well, George, I get it. You're trying to be diplomatic. I'm not. We can't kick damn field goals either. Like, what the hell? Like, what part of the game are we going to get better at week over week? Which part of this team have you seen week after week progressively get better throughout the season?
Marvin, I told you talking earlier about our linebacker play, our defense.
Our linebacker play has
on
for sure.
This other thing that you did that, and they've gotten better, man. They get downhill. They doing something. They running past the guards. I'm gonna show it on the doggone Teague tape tonight.
At the beginning of this, the defense got better. I said not being able to run the ball and not being able to stop the run are 2 deficiencies. I said we got better at the defensive side. We only gave up 212 yards of total offense. I acknowledge. Last 4 or 5 games, defense has been making those steps. You know, they in a lot of those games, they were small steps, but, you know, we made a big one in this one. But they have gotten better. But our offense has not gotten better. It has been the same offense this entire season, with the exception of one thing. The last 2 games, it has gotten progressively worse. You look at what we did against South Carolina. We should have lost that game. We had a pick 6, and South Carolina's defender lets Jeremy Bernard score, so it makes that game look like it was a lot more on our side than it really was. We should have lost that damn game as well. Again, our offense is not getting better.
Address Don Parker. He didn't drop.
No, but real quick to y'all's point though, the defense has gotten better, but that was the big difference Saturday night that we didn't get the previous 2 weeks. And I thought it was coming. Mateer has thrown a couple of interceptions every game. If you wait, he's going to make an errant pass. And that's kind of become the bell cow for Alabama's defense's takeaways in the secondary. You had the big pick 6 against Tennessee. You had the turnover against South Carolina. This secondary, you had the big fumble to end the game. This secondary's been, and defense has been making big plays that's the one thing. They played good Saturday night, but they didn't make that play. And look, it shouldn't always be on the defense to make the pick 6 or score the big game because the offense has got to do it.
Yeah, should. Win on D, count on me. That's the slogan.
I just said that in front of George Teague, who played on the 90s.
You did.
Who absolutely won every damn game for their team. So
but guys, we're getting away from the topic.
Defense has progressively gotten better.
It has gotten better, but it didn't
rest
make
of the season outlook. It's a topic.
Offense is the one. Listen, if our offense had, came to play and getting better, I would feel a lot more comfortable saying what I feel like the season outlook should be at this point. But given the fact, if you look at our last 2 outings as an offense, they were god awful. Let's just call it what it was. South Carolina, that was awful. What we just watched against Oklahoma, awful. So again, not getting better. Championship teams get better week over week. So if you ask me what my outlook is for the rest of the season, I'm going to say get the young guys ready for next damn season. And let's just call it what it is.
Stop, man.
No. Hear me out. Because to win a championship, I know what that takes. So if I know I'm not going to win a championship, because George, if you can't,
there ain't no tanking. You don't get no extra picks or no extra recruiters or something like that. That's bull,
what I
man.
am saying is I will get my younger guys experience right now. That's what I'm saying. I will use this time to get my young, because again, clearly some of these older guys not getting it done.
You know what you would actually say if they just tried to clear the bench and put some old younger guys in there and then get railroaded by Auburn? You full of you talking about calling BS? That's some BS.
No,
that is not even a realistic type of statement,
my
man.
Younger guys some reps.
Man, boy, you're gonna be sitting right here on Bama Standard talking about them young guys too, then, and talking about what the hell could DeBoer didn't do.
All right, so
with that. You play your guys, because all of them ain't graduating. You got a bowl game that you're gonna better put in. So my season outlook, right, is we still gonna get in this thing. I think they bounce back. I think they have a couple good games here. You get in the SEC championship. I am worried about Texas A&M. Maybe they lose, maybe they fall off, whatever, and you have to play Georgia again or someone else, depending on what happens there.
All right, so let me ask you a question, George. We go to the SEC championship. If we lose, are we still in the playoffs?
Yes. They say it shouldn't count against you, but what if Texas? Good question. What if Texas A&M actually
loses? They go get in.
I'm just saying, if they end up beating us convincingly, loss SEC team, 3 losses with 2 conference losses, that puts us behind Texas A&M, puts us behind Ole Miss, puts us behind Georgia, puts us behind. So are you telling me
your wins are too good? Your wins are too good.
Won't allow that precedence, because if that happens, then there will be no more SEC title game. It'll affect the SEC title.
All right, Pettey.
Sounds good in theory, but
that would be the death of the SEC title, Marvin. If that were to happen, if they let a 2-win team goes into the SEC title and loses that, they keep them out of the playoffs, there will be no more SEC.
There's no reason to even go to the championship game.
We'll get to that next. Actually,
what happened in the ACC last year?
Yeah, he said
they both went.
Clemson made it,
and so did SMU.
And so did SMU.
But why did SMU make it? How many losses did SMU have when they lost the
No, they made it because people felt bad and they didn't want Bama in it no more.
How many losses did they have? One, right?
Ooh, SMU?
Yeah.
That's true. Well, I hear
that
what you're
one
going. There's too many other factors.
That one loss came in the conference championship game. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Pettey, give us your rest of the season outlook. Listen, we all know what happens on the Indian burial ground that is Jordan-Hare. The time for the slap in the face moments to wake you up are done. Win or go home, and we don't want to be in the Outback Bowl. What's the rest of your season outlook before we move to our sponsor?
Alabama's winning out. We're going to go to the playoffs. I'm not sure. I guess what's it looking like right now? The high seeds, it's going to be Georgia. If it goes to chalk, it's going to be A&M and Georgia. So don't even have to worry about that, right? Because Georgia's going to be the higher rated. Or is it going to go off tiebreaker?
What time they're doing these things tonight?
It goes off here in about 15 minutes. So it's going to go to I don't know if it's going to go to the higher rate or the tiebreaker. Maybe someone in the chat can help that out, but it don't matter. Bama's going to the playoffs. So I look, Auburn's going to rah-rah for about a quarter and a half, but they've got a good defense. It's going to be a problem, but I'm sorry. Auburn's not a great football team. Bama's going to win that game. Usually I know the whole rivalry stuff. Everybody likes to get the better team usually wins the game. 99 times out of 100, even in rivalry games, the better team wins the game. I think Alabama's going to win that game. I think they're going to win out, and I think they're going to go to the playoffs. Then you just hope seeding. I don't know, man, because look, let's be real. Saturday night was a wake-up call. There's Achilles heel on this team that could absolutely take it out very fast against another team that plays that style of football. But no, man, you're in the playoffs. You got a shot. You get hot. This team got hot mid-season, beat Georgia, beat Tennessee, went on a damn run and beaten 4 ranked teams in a row. 2 of those on the road, 1 at Georgia, 1 at Missouri when Missouri wasn't beat to death. They still had their starting quarterback. So, look, man, this is still a team that showed the capability of if you get hot. I'm not letting one loss to an Oklahoma team that played some stingy-ass defense. Ty played maybe one of his shakiest games on offense. You had a bunch of turnovers. Your field goal kicker missed a kick. Shit happens. It's the new world. You're still 10-2. Get to the playoffs. That's the ultimate goal,
you
right?
got a culture problem a little bit. Hey, we're not going to talk about that, And how long does it take you to fix your culture?
Right.
And it might not even – I shouldn't even say fix, right, because you got a change of guard that came in, and his culture could be changing or it is changing, and you got different dudes with it. So, I've said this before. Hey, last year it was what it was. I kind of chalked that one off. This one right here, I see this as year one. After next year, to your point, some Marvin, hey man, get your guys right, play your dudes, whatever you're gonna do. Next year, that's like really it. That's your 3rd year.
Yeah,
you got time to. You could have recruited, hit enough transfer portal kids or whatever else to fit your scheme, if that's what you want to do, and then. That's it. That's your 3 years, like business, and then we decide, okay, is this guy really the guy that we want, or not? I think it's a little bit too early.
George, but me personally, if I'm going to lose, I'd rather lose with younger guys that I know are building my future. That's all I'm saying.
You can't run you, but you lost 2 games. You're making it like we're 5-5 or something, right?
You out, let me add a little bit more clarity. Mainly, I'm saying offensive line. What do you have to lose from playing the younger guys?
They are playing.
You can't get no damn worse.
They keep rotating everybody.
Right.
No, because they're not rotating the right damn people. Because 75 still on the damn field.
You're doing too much. And that's why I always get. I don't know what the philosophy is. Are you trying to keep guys happy? Are you worried about people are transferring out? Whatever. I don't know.
I'm playing my best 5. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't care who your folks are. I'm playing.
Put Jaden Roberts back in there. Put him back in. All right, real quick. It's senior weekend for Alabama, last home game of the season. Marvin, what do the fans need to carry to Bryant-Denny this Saturday?
Hopefully some Budweiser, Bud Light. Visit whitwillsports.com. Use the promo code the Bama Standard for your 10% off discount, baby. Listen, this weekend it should be not a nail biter. Listen, we ought to lay them down like we should have been laying everyone else down this season. So in the process of doing so, again, make sure you're in Bryant-Denny Stadium with your title tower, baby. Visit whitwillsports.com. Enter the promo code the Bama Standard for your 10% off discount.
Yes, sir. Like you said, this game, it's not really a big one. Eastern Illinois is 3-8. They're not in the same league, regardless of the offensive woes we've been talking about all night. So the main question is, and we don't have to keep it long, what do we need to see out of this game before we go into the Iron Bowl? Start us off, Marvin, then we'll go over to George and Pettey.
Honestly, I don't even want to see us run the ball. That ain't what I want to see this game. Playing a team like this, I would use this game to work on my pass blocking. I would use a game like this to work on setting up other things that I want to be able to do as we go into Auburn in the SEC championship game. I will work on refining those little things, because if you can't run the ball against Eastern Illinois, that's a problem within itself. So that wouldn't even be my main focus. I would just run it as needed, but my main focus would be cleaning up my pass blocking, especially with my running backs, to get them to understand what that should look like. The guy running straight at you with the 4 and the 5 on his chest, you square him up and you block him, things like that, Yeah.
Okay.
I think you should be figuring out how to get your running backs more involved in the passing game. You can't do it. Maybe give some other kind of threat. So you're talking about pass blocking, but if you know they're going to start bringing heat on you, you got to have some damn good screens. You got to have, and those could be wide receiver screens, but you got to have something where you can get rid of the ball. What?
George, I want you to add something to that answer you just said. Because you started off by saying getting the running backs involved, then you go to screen game. What's one of the best screen passes to run when that running back acts like he's going to block and then he turns, right?
Yeah.
Right. But you got to start with damn blocking. If you ain't never blocking, how are we going to set this up?
They blitzing though, man. They're already woofing and missing. They going to run past him. He got to learn how to drift, sell it a little bit, your quarterback, and drop the ball over the head. I hear what you're saying, but I just think if we're saying, like you're saying, we can't run the ball, what are they going to do? They're going to start peeling their ears back. It's 3rd and long. It's something. Get creative. I mean, I think of what's the head coach? Andy Reid, and all the things he does with running backs, particularly screens and different things. Call him up, get on the plane right now and head down or up to Kansas City and start talking about some things. Spend a day up there. Hey, man, what are y'all doing? Because no, you don't have Saquon Barkley. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just talking about the schemes and stuff that he runs with those backs, or how you get him the ball. Get him out in space and let him run. They're not going to get through the guard and the tackle spot, so get him out on the edge. Get him out there. It can't just be a regular old bubble, because that ain't working. Linebackers know how to do that.
Hold on, George. Andy Reid does a great job sending his backs out motion, putting them in the slot, line them up out wide.
Yes.
He does a wide variety of things to get them into favorable matchups with linebackers and safeties, so that he can get the most out of them. But they can catch. That's the first part of the equation. Be able to catch the damn ball. How many of our running backs can damn catch?
Well, Jam can catch the ball. He's great in the passing game. When he hits that wheel route, no problem. It's just he can't run it.
But you get tails with that. Even if we line up and empty, how many times when they move it back? They're trying to get their indicators, right?
George,
but they don't actually leave them out there, because you're going to set up. If you're going to play to your strength, if he's going to play to this passing game, do all that you can to do that, so you can get Ryan Williams over Jeremy Horton.
Hold on, George. You gave a horrible example. You gave Andy Reid. You start looking at Pacheco. You start looking at Rice and all those guys. Those are bigger receivers that just can line up in the backfield, but that are just our running backs built like damn Ram man. Listen, they ain't finna run them back.
I said screens, man.
It
ain't a McCaffrey.
Running backs are not running routes like Pacheco, like Rice. We can even go.
Kevin Riley can.
His question was, what should we do?
That's a very good question, and a lot of people are asking that question.
You ain't seen Riley on the field the last 4 games.
Who?
Kevin Riley.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, I think those are
I did, Pettey. Ram, man. That's who our running backs are built like, and they move like Ram. Like, damn, listen up. Start stretching.
I'm glad you brought
I
up
wasn't
Pettey.
expecting a He-Man reference tonight. That's awesome.
That was fantastic. Pettey, we got one more topic after this, but you can close this one up. And if you could actually tell us what you want to see from this game, and answer Don Parker's super chat of $5, thank you. Why in the same hill is Eastern Illinois? Oh, not our homecoming opponent, but yes,
because they want fans and people to actually come for the game. I had a buddy drive up to Tuscaloosa from Tampa this weekend because it was homecoming. It was Oklahoma. They wanted to see his wife had never seen Tuscaloosa. If it would have been Eastern Illinois, they would not have come. So
it's too late.
I don't think it's as big of a deal scheduling a cupcake so you can win homecoming as it used to be.
I have one question though, Pettey.
Yeah.
How was said French return drive?
That was the right. But I'll be honest, man. I don't think homecoming's what we grew up with in the 80s and 90s where you try to schedule a
No, Pettey. I'd be pissed if I drove all the way up here.
I did it. I was the question because they want fans at homecoming. Nobody's going to come to Eastern Illinois and see all the crap that you've set up and all the money they put into the pomp and circumstance it is homecoming. They actually want a crowd at it now.
That's what I'm talking about. Pettey.
What was the strip like after the loss to Oklahoma versus had you beat Eastern Illinois? What about that?
I'll tell you this: more people than there will be there for Eastern Illinois.
You got that. But Pettey, what do you need to see out of this game?
All right, get your pen and paper. I've got two things that you need to see from Alabama, Eastern Illinois. This is some profound stuff. Everybody this is where it's at. Marvin and George think they know football. Two things: don't get hurt and get more points.
That's deep.
Well,
were you ready for that, George?
By Daniel Pettey. Don't get hurt, no injuries, and score more points.
But let me go with you got to put an asterisk by to score more points because I didn't put this in my part because you should score more points. That should just be a given. You're supposed to score 50 points on them. I think it's how you score them points.
Easily.
How you score them points. And like Marvin said up here, you're going to make the run game look good just because you're more powerful than them and all that, but I need explosive plays. I need something that they need to be fancy and flashy, and it needs to be over at halftime.
George,
it needs to be over at halftime.
I'll tell you like this. Somebody brought up a point on the chat about the tight ends, and I'm going to say this. If I had Cuevas as a tight end, do you understand how I would be tunnel screening y'all asses to death? Do you understand how I would use Cuevas to loosen up that damn boundary for Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard? Because you're going to have to respect that tight end running between them hashes. Do you understand? Man, listen.
Cuevas is severely underutilized. And I know we always say that about tight ends, but good Lord, that every time he touches it, it's like a
I would be feasting with him.
Bowers, we talk about
well, then we go away from him completely. It was working. They had no answer for it. Caleb Edwards as well. They were running free all night. But for whatever reason, when we start having things that work, Ryan Grubb's like, you know what? Enough of all that stuff. We're going to go over here. And I don't understand that for the life of me.
All
right. Real quick. Last one. The SEC Championship versus the college football playoffs. I am interested to hear what you guys got to say about this. Is the SEC Championship game even worth playing at this point? It's meaningless in my eyes, and it's just another opportunity for a player to get hurt in a meaningless game. Right now, it's just get to playoffs, get the right kind of seeding, get to a title, start us out, Marvin, then over to Pettey, then to George.
What they're going to have to do with these championship games is they're going to have to make them part of the playoff formatting if they want them to be played. Similar to the way the NFL does the AFC and NFC divisional round. You're going to have to figure out how to incorporate those games in. And I know that's challenging given that those 4 championship teams have the first round bye. So how are you going to figure that piece out? But if you're going to have these games, they need to be meaningful and actually count towards the playoff picture, not a separate entity.
Pettey?
I love that you brought up the NFL, Marvin, because could you imagine them telling the AFC, hey, before you go into the playoffs, we still need to decide who is the best team in the 3 AFC. So we're going to do a playoff game that really doesn't matter, but crowns a champion before you go into the playoffs. They'd be like, have you lost your damn minds? We're not doing that shit. That's basically what we're doing with the SEC championship now. Georgia lost their quarterback just last year before the playoffs. We don't have to go back very far for an example of why this don't matter. So, yeah, if you're Ole Miss right now, and you're at 6th and you're sitting behind A&M and Georgia, and Bama has the tiebreaker, so you may host a home game and not have to play that extra. Yeah, I mean, that's not what you want to play for. You want to play to be number one. You want to play to have that. But if it doesn't benefit you because you're playing in an extra game where your coach is going to have to figure out how the hell do I manipulate this, where you're because here's the thing. And I'm talking to two dudes that are some of the most bad MF and competitive MFers to ever put on uniforms for Alabama. Once you put that ball down, the competitive comes out in you because you're going to play if you're in that SEC championship. And then and your coaches are going to be competitive. So it's going to happen. Then you run those risks. I don't see how the SEC championship game continues much longer.
Well, that, and there's something else you need to consider. If I'm Ohio State and Indiana or Texas A&M, and I lose a championship game, whereas originally I would have been getting the first round bye, now I got to damn play the first round because I played in this dumbass damn conference championship game.
Mm-hmm.
That means absolutely nothing now.
Yep.
Yes, so I'm going to concur, but I can go from a historical standpoint because there's one guy old enough to be here to talk about when there was no SEC championship and how you had to get to and no playoffs. So you had this BCS system where
hold on, let me see. Where you scribing?
Yeah, he had to speak one
in the year of our Lord.
Justin always gives me the last words. I get mine in at some point in time here again. So I was there when the BCS was there, right? And you just went off an AP poll, a coach's poll that kind of ranked you, and you did something, and you didn't have to worry about it. Then I had to play in the first SEC championship game, and it scared the living crap out of us because we were the only one that had to do it. And if we would have lost, we wouldn't have gone to the national championship game, right? And so now you're getting this feel of it again, even with the playoffs in it. Mm-hmm. So I think this doggone SEC championship game is becoming a problem. It's becoming a problem for everybody. We're talking about ours, but it ain't fair when you got other teams that are independent, like a Notre Dame.
Yes.
Or someone that have to do any of this. They just play their games. They play this little halfway kind of deal schedule, and they're getting ranked 9-10, and they're just going to pop right on in there. That's bullshit. Excuse me. I bleeped out or whatever you got to do. It's bull, so
preach.
To put it all back on, hey, let's just let this committee just find the 12 best teams then, if that's what we're going to do, and we'll be in there, and then you seed them, re-rank them, or however you want to do, reseed, all the stuff you got to do for the playoffs. But no one needs to have the doggone championships game because that some people are playing it. They got extra games. Some people aren't. Some people that don't even go are going to get in. So it's worthless. It's worthless. It's going to be like the Pro Bowl. They're just going to be out there sooner or later in shorts and T-shirts and not trying not to get hurt. And it's just going to be people not going to watch it anyway because
absolutely
if it doesn't have any effect on where you're going to go, then forget it. Anyway.
It fixed the problem in your era, George, and now it's become a problem. And I think that Pro Bowl analogy was perfect.
Listen, here's the thing about it. You got to understand. Okay, so let's look at it. Okay, George, I too played SEC championship game in the BCS era. Although I'm not as old as you.
Wow. He had to throw that last part in, George.
Now,
I had to put that part in.
With that same formatting, though, because we had one loss during the season, although we were SEC champions, we didn't get to play for the national championship, which we should have that year, because we did have a team that could have won a national championship that year. So it's twofold to understand what you're playing for. Because again, had we lost the SEC championship, we wouldn't even been in the BCS Bowl, period, point blank. So again, why do you want to put your teams at risk of playing in this game when it's going to serve no purpose?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, there has to be conversations with it, on a higher level. It's too much money involved in it. That always become an issue or a problem too, until they find, until someone has enough guts to say, man, we can't do this no more.
Well, let me ask you this though, Judge. At what point does that potential revenue not outweigh player safety and actually doing what's right for these kids?
Mm-hmm.
Bro. You think they still worrying about player safety? Come on, man.
Not at all.
What are we talking about?
Not at all, but that's what I'm saying. When will they ever consider it for real?
No, those are buzzwords for television and for everything.
But
there you go.
Now they got the tent, so you can't see what's going on. Now they just take everybody in the back, and they don't let you see what's going on when you go into the tunnel and you head back in the back. You know what used to happen when you went in the tunnel or whatever, and you get them shut. Now they making you sign the waiver in the back. You gonna tell? Or you want to play? What you want to do? Take this shot, man.
Baby.
Yeah, get this shot, man. Whatever. You want to play or not? So now it just ain't talking about it. So
but what I'm saying though, George, at some point they're gonna have to look at that because especially next year, you're going to a 9-game SEC schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to make these kids play a conference championship game. So you potentially have to play 10 SEC games if you go to the SEC championship game next year. That's a lot.
Wow.
I just want the 5th seed in the playoffs because that means we get to play the DEI team. I mean, Group of 5 winner.
Yeah. And nobody even wants that spot. Like my triple agent, they tried to make South Florida that team 3 times. They blow it every damn time.
Yeah, but when you beat that team, who's next though?
Well, actually, the teams that got buys didn't fare too well last year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. So yeah, you beat the DEI team. You know you're going to play Ohio State or Indiana next.
Bring it.
Give me Indiana.
Give me Indiana, please. They want us. Just give them what they want. All right, we got some audience questions that we got to get to before we wrap things up. We got a few of these. Let's see. First one, we go to Edward Bishop. Can they utilize a tight end and a fullback position to assist with the blocking?
Can they or will they?
Well, that's it right there. They could, and it would make sense.
For them to chip, but at the end of the day, man.
They put a fullback in there one play this past game, and it worked very well. It kind of surprised me. You probably don't even remember it. You probably had your eyes closed trying to figure out how we don't even do it. But they did run an ISO play in there, and I was like, okay, do it again. No.
They need to be more focused on keeping these tight ends involved in the pass game opposed to the first 3 drives of the damn game. There's more drives. You can keep throwing them the ball. You do know that, right? Like
this is true.
Crazy idea. Instead of putting Proctor in the backfield to run the ball, why don't you put him out there to block? I've actually seen teams use linemen in the backfield for blocking, and it'd be pretty successful.
They faked it to him this past time. They put him back there, and they gave him a little play action.
The fake was a nice wrinkle.
It was.
Yeah, don't give it to him every time. Yeah, let him block. Let him do some other
Pettey,
stuff.
We got to have our trick plays. I mean, did you not see Caden Proctor running a seam route this past game?
That's I'll be honest. There's trick plays, and then there's Hugh Freeze shit.
I don't want to be Boise State with all these Statue of Liberty shit.
Yeah, that needs to stop.
You're getting to Hugh Freeze cutesy, and that's when you.
Oh, I got a good question here from the Oklahoma fan in the chat. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you being here. Why is Ryan Williams a ghost? Bernard is clearly wide receiver 1. Who wants to take this?
2 years.
Yes.
I've only been saying it for 2 years, so you don't want me to answer this. That's been what
I would love to hear it. I also love to hear how Ryan Williams' NIL deal was between $2.5 and $2.7 million, where Jeremy Bernard's estimated NIL worth was around $425K, but yet he's outproduced him on the field in every facet of the game, and he's an absolute dog.
Sometimes you get the wrong agents, brother. And,
man, listen, we all work with people that we wonder how they got their job and the salaries that they getting.
For instance, here I am with Marvin Constant on the Bama Standard, and I'm trying to figure out how the hell he up on here giving these opinions, whistling at me, looking like Mater on what's the name of that show? Looking like that little truck, man. That big, come on, man.
I've been calling you out.
Y'all gonna start calling him Mater, man.
No Mater.
He does got to oil up with all that metal.
Look how he just
got you, Pettey.
He also has to oil up to put that shirt on.
Got you
Take
too,
it off.
Justin.
We're all getting it.
Hey, don't worry, Marvin. We got
I
somebody
can
who's going
serve
after
all
Pettey.
y'all up. Don't you worry.
We got one for Pettey. I swear Petty's hair looks like you could drop a brick on it and the brick stands no chance. That hair game on point.
So I got it straight in case Marvin throws anything at me. I can just like Ram Man.
That thing is kind of tight. I give you that.
It
Got
is.
that recess haircut.
We got some money coming our way from Don Parker. DeBoer is the head coach. He deserves a smoke too. He probably bought the ice cream trucks back instead of putting foot behind hind part. Sorry,
Marvin, the floor is yours.
Yes.
Man, I'm not
Rocky
discussing
Road,
this
pistachio,
ice cream
and all
truck
that
no
stuff.
more. Listen, man, I told you, had I played and coach bringing an ice cream truck, nah, coach, we ain't doing that. Like that ain't happening, man. Like it's just certain stuff. We're here to do a job. Football is a gladiator sport.
Yep.
Let's call it what it is. A gladiator sport. The two things that bother me most about this team is the damn ice cream truck coming, and then to see all these people wearing these damn Guardian caps. Man, cut that out. Let that go, man. Listen, you know the risk you're taking when you go out here to play this game. That's part of the problem. Everybody want to be safe. Ain't nothing safe about playing damn football.
The damn things don't even work like that anyway.
Right? Like, why are we trying to make something that's extremely physical, violent, dangerous, and life-threatening safe?
Bro,
What
they
the
look
hell?
like bobbleheads. I hate it, especially when they got them little bitty wide receivers and them big ass things on their head. Man, like golly, you slow.
Well,
to
I
the
mean,
bug, man.
Let the game be what it is. If your ass too damn soft to play it to where you need a Guardian cap and ice cream trucks, go play in the band. Somebody got to support. Somebody got to get on the tuba. Somebody got to get on the clarinet.
So
get your ass in the band.
So we got to have a behind the scenes show on all that anyway, because even I heard Jacques Green talking about this. The game's just getting soft, like soft serve ice cream. Everybody hurt, hamstrings hurt, shoulders hurt. You know, it just
I just want to, George.
hurt.
I just want to see mouthpieces actually go in mouths now instead of just dangling like dice on the mirror.
Dude, they don't wear knee pads. They wear tights. They wear track tights out there, and they don't put in their mouthpiece. And
apparently, it translates to being the best kicker in America, and maybe we need to adopt that philosophy for ours.
Guys, y'all are gladiators. There's a reason 100,000 people show up. It isn't because it's cute and soft. It's because men do things that other men can't do because y'all were like the olden day gladiators. At the end of it, if they lost, they got ate by a damn tiger. And now, like you said, we're worried about soft helmets and ice cream. Like I get that you want to protect people, but when you sign up to play football, I did it. I didn't make it as far as you guys because I wasn't that freak, but I knew what I signed up for trying to get there. And I learned real quick when I ran into some dudes that were bigger that, hey, man, there's bigger freaks out there. Well, that's what makes it special. That's why dudes like me, again, fill up 100,000 seat stadiums and all these people because they want to see Gladiator. And again, it's getting soft as hell. I mean, you changed it. Everybody, why is defense better? Why are the defense? Because they capped them off at the knees. You can't take a wide receiver's head off going across the middle anymore. You might get kicked out for the next two games. So,
absolutely.
I mean,
speaking of guys with caps on their knees,
hey man,
there's this guy on the show. Anyway, I ain't gonna talk about it.
I had to hit the mute button because you about made me choke out. Listen, don't you do that. Hey,
all right, let's get to Latoya
Billings.
Let's get to Latoya Billings before we get into some uncharted waters. Look, she's saying we aren't physical enough. You can't be physical if you're pass blocking all the time.
Latoya, you the same person that said we can run the ball. All right, let's be clear about something. You can be extremely physical pass blocking. Let's be very clear about that. I've seen many of pancake blocks on pass blocking when you trying to get your ass upfield and that lineman turn you just right.
You lift it up.
and listen, I've seen it many times. The problem with this team is we don't have an identity with our offensive line.
All right.
They have no identity. And the person who should be the leader of said offensive line, the mauler, establishing that identity, he isn't that person. Yep. There lies the problem with this offensive line. And I'm not going to call any names who should be said mauler. We all know the answer to that.
We do.
But he's not.
Don Parker, $5. Thank you so much. I also am not going to sing the praises of this defense. Still missing too many tackles and giving up too many third down conversions.
Hold on, Don. Time out. You know I always ride with you, Don, on this defense. We're gonna keep it 100. But what we got to do though is we got to give credit where credit is due. So to hold a team to 212 yards of total offense, less than 100 rushing yards, that is impressive within itself.
Yeah.
You cannot take that away from them. And to only give up 100 and something pass yards, that is damn impressive. I don't give a damn who you playing. And to do it against a team like Oklahoma, even though Material, I know he had surgery on his hand 3-4 weeks ago, but he has been playing better since then. So this offense has been performing at a high level. If you look at them the last 2 games. So again, to hold them to 212, that is damn impressive. And as much as I don't like to say Kane Womack did something right, he did something right, Sam.
Oh, they've improved. That's all what you say. They have improved.
Gotten better. If you wouldn't have seen the score and you just read that stat line in the newspaper, you're like, well, damn, we won handedly.
Yeah.
Right.
The difference was turnovers.
Yeah.
D Baker 2383. What's good, Justin? This is Derek. Thanks for being on my podcast last week. Enjoying the show, fellas. Hey, I enjoyed it too, buddy. All right, let's see. T-Town Media, you want a 10-3 Bama or a 10-2 Notre Dame?
Both is what they want. They want both because they love ratings, and both those teams are the 2 highest watched teams in college football next to Ohio State. So both is the answer. What they want.
Well, I don't want to see that running back Notre Dame got.
Jeremiah Love,
man. And let me ask
he
this:
he beat teams by himself.
Notre Dame played 2 teams. They lost, and look, we can't say much about losing one out of the gate. We did that same at Alabama. They lost to Miami out of the gate. They lost to A&M, which at this point doesn't look like the worst loss. But then you don't play anybody. But damn, on paper, those 2 running backs, the quarterback's playing good. I don't know. Does Notre Dame deserve? I hate that. I'm a big Notre Dame hater. When you went off on them, I loved it. But no, them running backs are the real deal.
They are, and I think they're one of the best football teams in the country. Watching,
I think so.
Notre Dame is very good. Jeremiah Love is very good. Yes. And Notre Dame, again, they went to the championship last year, so they know what it takes to get there. And again, not being in the conference, they have one of the easier paths to get there. Now, is it realistic to say, do you want a 10-3 Bama or a 10-2 Notre Dame? I think it's highly likely you will get both. Yeah. Although, that 10-3 Bama, you're going to be on the bubble. You're probably going to be that 11 seed. But
and you won't.
I'm thinking, I don't know which way he's asking this, but I think you would rather play us than Notre Dame.
I think they're trying. He's asking who would people want
committee
to select?
take if Bama lost in the SEC championship?
But here's the thing, though. You're looking at both of them potentially getting in because, again, Notre Dame path is easier. You're looking at Alabama. If we happen to lose the SEC championship being 10-3, here's what you have to look at to consider why Alabama could potentially still get in.
Have these rankings come out yet or not?
And the ACC. The ACC, the highest ranked ACC team is Miami. I think the last time they were 14, I think. So, you're looking at one ACC team, the ACC champion, one Big 12 team being the Big 12 champion. So that's going to leave 10 other spots. You're going to look at 2 potentially going to the Big 10, potentially 3. So even if you give the Big 10 3, that's 5. That still leaves 7 spots. You got to give your at-large team 1. So that leaves 6 spots. There ain't no way in hell you're going to leave out, 4 SEC teams that are sitting in the top if Alabama played in the SEC championship, even if they still lose it. But the Big 12 and the ACC is making it statistically possible for the SEC to get 4 teams in.
Good stuff, Mark.
Marcus McCants, $5. Hey, guys, question. When Alabama makes it to the SEC championship, if they happen to lose, do they still make the playoffs? Yes. They would be 10-3.
Yes.
Well, I just answered that because, again, you start looking at the Big 12. You got Texas Tech, who will be potentially their champion. They'll be in. And then whoever wins the ACC, potentially Miami or whoever they play. And outside of those 2 teams, that's all you're going to get in from those 2 conferences. So you still have 10 spots left. And then you got to take your group of 5. So 9 spots basically the Big Ten and the SEC.
And Nelson follows it up, $4.99. I was late, not sure if you covered this topic, but Marvin, how are you feeling about the last two defensive games? Also, did your teams have a good D? They absolutely did, Nelson. Won the top in the country when he played. Go ahead.
Yeah, we had the number 2 defense in the country when I played. So
I think he said, "Do your teams have a good K? So kicker."
Oh well, I mean, if you're asking about my team, our kicker is horrible. Our kicker sucked balls. Let's just call it what it is. We should have beat Michigan.
You watched him or what?
Nah, listen. Our kicker sucked horribly.
Oh, yeah.
Our kicker was terrible. We should have beat Michigan in the Orange Bowl, even though they brought Tom Brady in the second half. Kicker was terrible. What? One damn job. So you don't want me to talk about my kicker. So no, I'm
and now he's a highly paid surgeon. Go figure.
I don't know if I want him operating on me.
I think he has people fill out.
I think he does mastectomies, Martin.
Yeah, I already had one. I'm good.
Okay.
Last one again from Nelson. Thank you, brother. Toughest game of the year for me as an OU alum. So he's a double agent like Pettey.
Oh, I get those double agents. Especially Oklahoma. I'm going to say this again, man. I've now known 3 different fan bases, one of them completely batshit crazy in Tennessee. Ole Miss and Bama all go to Oklahoma and give the exact same experience that Oklahoma may be maybe one of the better fan bases in college football, just like not crazy good folks.
Hey, man, shout out to my guy, Ty Bates, baby. Listen, I know you coach at Oklahoma. Y'all got the dub. So I'm going to say congrats to my brother. But that's all I got for you, Bates.
That's all you got.
Oh, we got. That's right. I forgot. I should have called it when I went there. I'm going up there watching them play LSU too. So
when is that game?
Get me
next week.
Yeah. Hey man,
we got Missouri this week.
Passes?
Oh, I need to reach out and see what he can do
you
for
get
me.
us some sideline passes. I might have to catch that flight to Norman. I was looking for something to do for Thanksgiving too.
Well, there it is. So anyway.
Right. Well, guys, we have gone into overtime. We appreciate people on the panel for staying with us so long. We greatly appreciate even more the people who've been watching this entire time. I want to remind everyone, please watch the post-game show immediately following the game this Saturday. And then next week, we're going to have to do it big for the Iron Bowl. So no telling who all we will have on here. Just be ready for it. But before we go, I'm going to let everyone go around the room, tell folks how they can be found, especially George, since he has Teague's Take on a special night. Starts out Marvin, then go to Pettey, and George will wrap it up.
You can find me on Instagram, Constant45. You can find me on X, Constant451. So not hard to find.
I go next. That's how
you are.
Come on, Dennis the Menace. Let's go. Spit it out.
I got mesmerized by my shirt and the camera, and I got lost for a second. It's Pettey _. Daniel on Twitter. I'm here on Tuesday nights, Bama Standard, 6 Central, 7 Eastern, and I'll be back on the post game this week because I've been on the golf course the last few weeks trying to raise money for those bets.
Nice. That's nice. Glad you're doing that. Shout out to the vets. I'm at Teague Football, X and Instagram. Teague's podcast tonight, here in a little bit. I'm gonna need this check in the mail too, Justin, because man, I'm hungry, man, and I ain't had time to eat before my show, so now I got to come on mine. But let me tell you what we're gonna talk about tonight, though. It's something that Marvin will want to see. We want to show how the defense got better, not necessarily how bad the offensive line is, but how we've gotten better and how our defensive line linebackers are flowing. So that's going to be one of my focal points. JT, my co-host, might be talking about something different, but you can catch us at Teague's Take podcast right here on this channel in a little bit. So don't go anywhere. Take a break, get you some potato chips, whatever you're going to get, and then jump right back on so we can show you some film of how the defense did get better.
Live from the VFW. All right.
Yeah, all night. Just
Do I get the last word? Right before
you do. You have the last word.
You're done. You're done. Cut him off.
I'm letting him go. It's your show, man. It's your show. I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna text you later.
Thank you to everyone who was a part of the show tonight, especially George Teague, and for braving traffic braving Marvin Constant's insults and all that he does. You can follow him. We got him on the Tigger here and also his show. You got to check it out every week. And also do us a favor. If you ever want to play Broken Down, send us an email, justinriley7@gmail.com, and I'll pass it on to George, and he will bring it on his show for you. Do not forget to do that. But, yeah, jump on 8:15 p.m. Central, not too long from now. You definitely don't want to miss that. But that's going to do it for all of us. George, send us off. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, so that door sitting behind Marvin Constant, tell me them gap between them little panels right there don't look like his mouth too, man. Them two teeth right there behind over that little face. All right, I'm out. Peace. I don't want to hear nothing else, man.
Hey, Bill,